North Korea has tested a lot of missiles over the past year or so. Especially, they've tested many missiles and a variety of missiles. And the variety is key here. They've tested submarine-launched ballistic missiles, missiles from train-mounted systems, and in the past week, twice what they describe as hypersonic missiles. Now, the most recent tests over the recent months, none of them have included long-range missiles or nuclear tests or satellite launches, but this doesn't make them any less dangerous or concerning, because these the large variety of missiles are designed to get around existing missile defenses in the region in various different ways.
Now, the fact that Kim Jong-un was there overseeing these tests, what does that tell us? Does it suggest that this is, in fact, the real deal, that the technology is advancing?
It does somewhat, because this is the first time that Kim Jong-un has attended a missile test in person, at least officially, in around 2 years. The North Korean leader took a picture with the country's top missile developers, and this appeared in the ruling party daily. So it suggests that Kim is really trying to promote missile development by giving his presence is going to publicize that. But it doesn't mean that Kim Jong-un is suddenly more interested in developing weapons all of a sudden. He's been interested, obviously, in this for a long time. And even though he's not attended tests officially, he has given speeches about weapons development and also attended North Korea's defense exhibition in October last year.
Now, this latest test comes just after the UN Security Council finished discussing North Korea's previous missile test that happened last week. What are these latest developments likely to do in terms of international sanctions against Pyongyang?
Absolutely nothing. I think the reason for that is because historically the international community has only ever been able to agree to come together and add more sanctions, or at least enforce sanctions more strictly, when North Korea conducts either an intercontinental ballistic missile, an ICBM launch, a nuclear test, or a satellite launch. And all of the recent tests have been too short range, frankly. In fact, China has even recently been arguing for sanctions relief for North Korea, partly because it says that the COVID-19 pandemic is hurting the country's economy, but also because North Korea hasn't conducted these long-range missile or nuclear tests for a while. So, yeah, bottom line, I would be very surprised if the international community did anything substantial beyond these kind of condemnations, these statements.
Is there any likelihood that there would be any talks in the near future? But then again, given that they've shut their borders due to the pandemic, is that anywhere near being on the table?
I would say that it's quite unlikely. As you say, North Korea has shut its borders to the outside world. A lot of diplomats inside the country have had to leave North Korea because the restrictions were so tight. No one's been coming into the country. Few people have been going out. I think that if there's any hope for talks, really, the Biden administration really has to offer North Korea something really juicy, because we got to remember, from Kim Jong-un's viewpoint, the country has worked exceptionally hard to get a hold of nuclear weapons, and he's not just going to trade these away for breadcrumbs. On the other side, the US doesn't seem very interested in promising some kind of sanctions relief just to get Kim Jong-un to talks, which seems to be his prerequisite at the moment.
And finally, James, South Korea's government appears to be playing down North Korea's hypersonic capabilities. Why are they doing this, and is it the right move?
Well, the Moon Jae-in administration in South Korea does tend to want talks and reconciliation with North Korea. But the fact is actually that while North Korea says that it has launched hypersonic missiles, it might actually, judged by the design of the missiles might actually be something closer to a maneuverable re-entry vehicle. So South Korea has been saying that, you know, maybe North Korea is exaggerating its claims. It may not be too far off from the truth, but this doesn't mean that we shouldn't be concerned. I mean, we should remember that perhaps 10 years ago, we were all doubting that North Korea could ever develop these kind of intercontinental long-range missiles. Look what happened only a few years later. I think the lesson of the last decade under Kim Jong-un has told us, doubt North Korea at your peril. It wouldn't surprise me if the country did get its hands on operational hypersonic missiles at some point in the future.
James Fretwell, we appreciate your analysis. Thank you very much.
Thank you.